Kamusta? Nick Panda here, and in this video, I'll be introducing to you everything you need to know before getting into the gameplay of CookieRun Braverse. Grab a coffee, and let's get started. There are 5 colors in CookieRun Braverse, and 1 new color. So to make it easy and simple for you to pick your first color, I'll be combining the colors and the field. And in this video, we'll be splitting it into chapters so you can skip it to whatever you need. Chapter 1, colors and the field. It is important to know the field first before I introduce you to card types, because most of the cards references one of these areas. Now let's begin. First off, we have the battlefield. Battlefield is where your playable cookies stay, attack, defend, activate skills. This is the heart of the field. Color that really applies pressure in the battlefield is red. Red is known for being aggressive, and it's also the best for beginners because it is straightforward and just focuses more on dealing damage. Next field is your support area. Think of it as your energy or your resource. This is the area where you pay to use the card's cost. This field lets you know how many energy you have to pay for its cost. What do I mean by cost? To make it simple, this requires 2 red cards in your support area to deal 1 damage. This requires 2 blue cards in your support area to deal 1 damage. This requires 2 purple cards in your support area to deal 1 damage. Now this requires 1 yellow card in your support area to deal 1 damage. And with that, I'll also introduce you mixed colors. Now what do I mean by that? This requires 1 green card in your support area and 1 color of your liking. You can mix colors, but I do not suggest this, especially if this is your first time playing a trading card game. But yes, it is possible to mix colors. Now the cards here are the old cards of CookieRun Braverse. And this is how the new cards look like. And it's now full art. Isn't it cool? The color that loves handling the support area is color green. They love to do what they call ramp, which they can increase their support more than their opponent, putting a lot of available energy for them to consume. Next up is the deck area. This is basically where your main deck sits. If there are any demo or learn to play events around your area, I highly encourage you to participate in them, because you will be receiving beginner decks, which is free. The color that loves to play around the deck area and their hand cards is the color blue, as they can cycle and draw and set up top cards of their deck at their will. And it feels like they're one step ahead in the match. They can take the cards they want, put it back, and all under their control. The next area is trash area. Any cards that were used during the match goes here. Well, think of it as your discard pile. The color purple just doesn't see this as their discard pile. This is where they get their power from. The trash is their main power. That's why there's what they call the trash rebuild. Color purple loves disruption. They can put the cookies from battle area straight to the trash. And yes, that also includes your cookies at the battle area. Don't be shocked if purple starts counting your trash. Purple players just love doing that, counting their trash and your trash as well. Next field is the break area. Any cookies that faint goes to the break area. What do I mean by faint? The moment the cookie's HP reaches 0, it faints, sending it from the battle area to the break area. And the color yellow loves the break area. They can revive some cookies they have in their break area and bring it back to the battle area. The color yellow is opposite to red. Yellow loves to heal and sustain and has the play style of being defensive. Lastly, there is stage area. This is where stage cards sit into and provides effects throughout the match. Now that is for your field and colors. So by learning this, you'll notice that colors do have their own playstyles, and it is up to you on which one suits you. On to the next chapter, Chapter 2, card types. In CookieRun Braverse, we have 4 card types. First up, cookie cards. These are your playable characters. They have their level, their HP, their attack, and or skill, as other cookies do not have skills. Something new about CookieRun Braverse is extra cards do not belong to your main deck. They belong to your extra deck, which I will be explaining on the next chapter. Moving on, we have item cards. Item cards can be used during your turn adding or dealing damage, drawing, whatever the item card says. But remember, it can only be used during your turn. Next up, we have trap cards. Trap cards, on the other hand, can be used during your opponent's turn. Whenever your opponent declares an attack using their cookie, you cannot use your trap cards on your opponent's cookie skill, only if your opponent uses their cookie's base attack. Some players do get confused by this during gameplay, so don't forget. Lastly, we have stage cards, which sit in the stage area, providing effects throughout the match. That is your 4 card types for CookieRun Braverse. Pretty simple, right? Now let's move on to the next chapter. Chapter 3, Deck Building. Now you want to know about the deck building in CookieRun Braverse. Well, to start off, for your main deck, you can only have 60 cards, nothing more and nothing less. And luckily for you, starter decks come into 60 and ready to play. And don't worry purchasing on your first starter deck, because you can upgrade your starter decks along the way. Speaking of deck building, you can only run 4 copies max per card number. Not by card name, but by card number. So you can have more than 4 copies of the same name, just make sure that the card number is different. An example for that, this is Mango Cookie. Now this is Mango Cookie as well. Both have the same name, but they have a different card number. Another rule for deck building is that you can only have 16 max with the cards that have the flip effect. Flip effects work if they are flipped as HP, which you will be learning more in the gameplay video. But just take note that 16 cards max with the flip effect. And it also has the same 4 copy rule. Your flip card also belongs to your main deck. Extra deck other than your main deck contains extra cards. Cards like this have extra in their skill. Maximum cards in your extra deck is 6 extra cards only. Also following the 4 copy rule. Don't get too excited yet with mixing colors, although it is possible. Especially if you are a beginner, just run with 1 color. To increase consistency of pulling the best cards you have in your deck is to always maximize and put 4 copies in your deck. And again, if you're not really sure on what color to choose, again, I highly suggest attending demo and learn to play events. You can experiment with the colors and try out each and every color until you find the color you like. Now, another tip I can give is to run 25 to around 30 cookies in your deck. That exclude your flip cards, just to avoid being traumatized from trasher decks. Now let us talk about accessories. I've been holding this card for a while, but one thing I highly suggest is to sleeve your cards. So buy some inner sleeves and protect your cards. And now that you have your inner sleeves, you can put it to your outer sleeve. This is especially important when you are already playing in a match. It makes it glide well around your playmat. And yes, next accessory is playmat. It is really good to have a playmat because this protects your card on whatever platform you're playing. Some playmats, especially the official ones, do have the layout of the fields, which lets you remember the placement of the fields. Now, where can I put my deck? Well, there's one thing called the deck box, which allows you to put your deck, again, adding another protection to your cards. Well, I've mentioned that you can upgrade your starter decks. Where can you find those upgrade pieces? You can find your upgrade pieces here in booster boxes. But if you know the upgrades for your deck, then I highly suggest buying singles. You can find cards around the marketplace, some vendors, or local game stores. Well, if you want to save money, then just buy singles. But if you love the thrill of opening packs, then go ahead. There are booster packs and booster boxes. And that is everything you need to know before sitting down and playing your first match of CookieRun Braverse. And I'll see you on the next video, where we will be explaining the phases and the gameplay. And see ya on the next video.